This smartphone deal is so good, I had to buy this phone again. I'm talking about the OnePlus Nord 3, which was launched at around 30,000 rupees. Now you get it around 20, so it's very interesting. Let's talk about the good stuff first. You're basically getting the hardware of a 30,000 rupee phone at 20,000 rupees. Dimensity 9000 processor here, which is very good in gaming. I think this is one of the only phones at this price point which will support 90 FPS in BGMI. Realistically, you will get anywhere between 70 to 90 FPS, which is fine. And there is that OnePlus issue where if you play for like 1 hour or more than that, and if the temperatures go up a little bit, temporarily the frame rates will drop back to 55, 60. But then this was a problem at 30,000 rupees. At 20,000, I'm not complaining about it. The only other phone I think that can do 90 FPS is the Poco X6 Pro around this price point. And the performance of this phone, even in other games like Genshin Impact, is very good. In Car X Street, it was giving constant 30 FPS. Somehow there was no option to go to 60 FPS here, but nevertheless, the gaming performance is good here and everyday performance is a breeze. You've got UFS 3.1 storage, Oxygen OS is very well optimized, so no lags, no stutters, everything is buttery smooth, which is quite difficult to find at this price point considering other devices that we've used in the past. Like I said, it's running on Oxygen OS 14, so there is 2 more Android updates left, so you will get Android 15 and Android 16. The Oxygen OS experience here is like any other OnePlus phone. There are no unnecessary bloatware, no ads, no recommendations. It's very optimized, it's feature rich, and I don't think anyone is going to have a problem with it. Haptics are really solid here. You've got that haptic engine that you normally see on Realme, Oppo and OnePlus phones. Usually phones in this price segment don't get such good haptic experience. And you also get OnePlus's alert slider, which is missing from the CE series in this price segment, but here you do get it. So that is a really nice thing to have. And even from the outside, the phone feels nice. Although the design is very similar to the cheaper Nord CE3, it still feels nice in the hand. You've got a nice Gorilla Glass 5 protected back panel. This back panel has a matte finish and looks good. On the front, you've got a flat display. The bezels are quite thin and this display is protected by dragon tail glass. So if you want a good tempered glass for your OnePlus Nord 3 or a case, definitely check out gear31.com. That's my store. We've got a completely transparent edge-to-edge tempered glass for the OnePlus Nord 3 and it should protect your phone well. Talking about this display, it's a 1.5K panel, 120Hz AMOLED. It supports HDR as well and it's a good display. It gets pretty bright outdoors, no problems there, and the tuning of this display is done well. So when you're watching HDR content, even in Netflix there is support for HDR content, so no issues there. Good colors, good processing, and you will have fun watching content here. And the speakers are also really nice for this price segment, and this display also holds an in-display fingerprint sensor which works fine. So all the basics are really good on the OnePlus Nord 3 for 20,000 rupees. Now I get to the mid stuff or the not so good stuff, and I would include battery life in that. It's got a 5000 milliamp hours of battery and the battery optimization is not the best. I mean, you can still get through one full working day, even maybe a little bit more when you're using it moderately, but the competition does better. Nothing Phone 2A, OnePlus Nord C4, all of these phones perform better in battery life because even the ideal battery drain overnight, it's around 6 to 7% on those phones. On this phone, it was around 10%. So not the best optimization, but it's still good enough for most people, so you won't have a problem. And the good part is that there is 80 watt of charging here and the fast charger is in the box, so that shouldn't be an issue. The camera is actually where I felt OnePlus missed the mark here, especially at 30K, though it wasn't recommended, but at 20,000, it's still acceptable. I'm comparing it to the Nord CE4, the Motorola Edge 50 Fusion, and you can see that the OnePlus Nord 3 is a bit inconsistent. The IMX890 sensor here from Sony is not very well optimized because in some photos the Nord 3 is good, in some other photos the Nord C4 is good, but in majority of the photos you will see that the Edge 50 Fusion does better, be it the dynamic range, be it the details, be it the skin tones. Of course, it exaggerates the images a little bit, but I'm pretty sure majority of the people will end up picking what Motorola has done in comparison to OnePlus. So in daylight, it's not a very exciting camera, but when I talk about the low light performance, that's where this phone impressed me. Low light is really good here. You've got good detailing, it gets good light into the scene, so that optimization is done well. You can just see all of these samples that I'm playing right now and you can take a pic for yourself. The ultra wide camera is average at 8 megapixels, nothing great. The front facing camera is fine, nothing to complain about here. It takes good selfies. And if I talk about the video, stabilization is not that great in comparison to other devices. You can still do 4K 30 FPS here, so that is not a problem. And the front facing camera can only do 1080p 30. So the camera is going to be that one thing where you compromise a little bit, but then overall if I talk about the basics here, the call quality, the network reception, everything is good. Here you've got a physical proximity sensor, so phone calls are not a problem. And if you want anonymous call recording, you have that as well with the O-Dialer app. Plus you've got an IR blaster here and you have got NFC, which a lot of manufacturers skip in this price segment. So all in all, at 20,000 rupees, definitely the OnePlus Nord 3 is a great all-rounder phone for yourself, for your parents. It's a very easy recommendation, especially with that OnePlus branding on the back. The only reason that you might not consider this phone is if you want a better camera performance. But I've shown you all of the camera samples. You guys can be the judge for yourself. And I think this is a very good deal. I found this on Amazon for 20,000 rupees. I had the Amazon ICICI card, so I got another 1,000 rupee cashback. So it was a very good deal for me, but at the same time right now I cannot see that deal on Amazon. But don't worry, you can get similar deals for this phone on Flipkart as well, and even on Reliance Digital. It's around 21,500, but there are a couple of cashback offers, so you could get it for 20,000 rupees, and I think it is recommended at this price point. And it's a bit surprising that OnePlus did this because they normally just stop selling the phone. They don't do such massive price cuts, but I guess they're feeling the pressure from Poco's growth in this price segment, and that's why they've done it. Regardless, you guys can take advantage of the deals. It's good for us only. So yeah, all the links will be in the description to buy this phone. And let me know your thoughts if you've been a OnePlus Nord 3 user. How has your experience been? It'll help other people in the comments. And like this video if you liked it. Press the dislike button twice if you didn't like it. And I'll be back in the notifications with a lot more videos very soon. Let me know what other kind of videos would you like to see on this channel. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon.